The sleek black limousine pulled up to the entrance of the Grand Majestic Hotel, where the morning sunlight gilded the classic European architecture. The car door opened and Elena Rodriguez stepped out, confidently striding across the extended red carpet. Her dark suit hugged her tall figure, accentuating her smooth, ebony skin. Her elaborately braided hair was held in place by a jeweled hairpin, reflecting the luxurious gleam of the hotel lobby. Elena took a deep breath, savoring the delicate scent of lilies and sandalwood that lingered in the air. Her eyes, sharp and determined, swept over the large oil paintings, the shimmering crystal chandeliers, and the elegantly dressed guests leisurely enjoying their morning coffee. The Grand Majestic, a symbol of luxury and class, still exuded the same pride as it always had. But today, Elena Rodriguez wasn't here to admire its opulence. She was here to conquer. She was here to remind the Grand Majestic of a past they wanted to forget, of a skinny black girl they had once shamefully turned away. The memory of that day remained vivid in Elena's mind, like a smoldering fire in her heart. It had fueled her ambition, her relentless drive, and now she returned as a successful businesswoman, ready to take over this entire luxurious empire. Elena entered the lobby, the click of her heels echoing across the pristine white marble floor, reverberating through the quiet space. Each step exuded confidence and determination, a powerful statement of the presence of a powerful black woman. The Grand Majestic, which had once rejected her, now faced a completely different Elena Rodriguez, a woman who not only possessed the desire for success but also the power to change perceptions and make history. However, the memory of that day flooded back into Elena's mind, sharp and painful, as if it had happened yesterday. As a young girl with eyes full of hope, Elena had stepped into the Grand Majestic, eager to witness its splendor. But she was stopped by the contemptuous gaze of the receptionist, a white man in a neat suit and an arrogant demeanor.
"What are you doing here? This place is not for your kind,"
he had said, his cold tone like a splash of cold water on Elena.
I just wanted to see the hotel,"
Elena stammered, feeling her face flush with anger.
"See the hotel?"
The man sneered.
"Look at your clothes. Do you even have enough money to pay for a glass of orange juice here?"
Elena lowered her head, feeling ashamed and angry. She clenched her fists, turning to leave in humiliation. But at that moment, a vow was made in her heart.
"One day I will come back and show him what people like me can do."
And today Elena had returned. She stood there, proud and powerful in her elegant black suit. The receptionist from that day was no longer there. But Elena still recognized the judgmental gaze from another employee, a young woman with an indifferent expression. Elena tried to suppress the anger within her. She knew she couldn't let those prejudices and negative attitudes affect her goal. She would prove to them that a black woman could own and lead a prestigious hotel like this.
"I want to see Mr. William Davis,"
Elena repeated, her voice still calm but her eyes flashing a cold glint. The young receptionist didn't seem fazed. She looked Elena up and down indifferently, then uttered a sentence in a condescending tone.
"Do you have an appointment? And do you even know who M.R. Davis is?"
Anger surged through Elena's veins. The humiliation of the past came flooding back like a fierce wave crashing against the shore. She clenched her fists, trying to contain the rising anger. But before Elena could react, Sophia, her assistant, couldn't take it anymore.
"Who are you talking to like that?"
Sophia fumed, stepping forward.
"Do you know who she is? This is Mrs. Elena Rodriguez, the president of Rodriguez Corporation."
The receptionist gasped, her eyes widening in shock as she looked at Elena. But she quickly regained her composure, forcing a strained smile.
I apologize. I didn't know."
Elena raised her hand, stopping Sophia. She didn't want to make a scene here. She wanted to handle everything gracefully and decisively.
"It's all right.
Elena said, her voice still calm and chilling.
I understand you're just doing your job, but I advise you to be more careful in how you treat guests. Not everyone wears fancy clothes like the guests you usually see here."
With that, Elena turned, took out her phone, and called Mr. Davis.
"William, I'm in the hotel lobby. Could you come down and meet me?"
While waiting, Elena calmly observed her surroundings. She noticed the curious glances of a few guests watching her. They must be wondering about this black woman with such a proud demeanor. Elena smiled slightly. She knew she had succeeded in making an impression. And she also knew this was just the beginning. She would accomplish much more at the Grand Majestic. A few minutes later, a middle-aged man with salt and pepper hair and a distinguished air stepped out of the elevator. It was William Davis, the CEO of the Grand Majestic. His face was full of welcoming smiles as he saw Elena.
Mrs. Rodriguez, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Mr. Davis said, his voice warm and respectful.
I've heard a lot about your reputation in the real estate world.
Elena smiled and nodded in greeting.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. It's a pleasure to meet you as well.
Mr. Davis's appearance seemed to bring the entire hotel lobby to a standstill. All eyes were on Elena and the CEO. The receptionist from earlier stood frozen in place, her face stiff, unable to hide her fear. She couldn't believe that the black woman she had just treated with contempt was being so warmly welcomed by Mr. Davis himself.
This way, Mrs. Rodriguez.
Mr. Davis said, gesturing towards the elevator.
Let's go to the meeting room on the top floor where we can talk more comfortably.
The elevator doors closed, isolating Elena and Mr. Davis from the outside world. Inside that private space, Elena felt an indescribable sense of satisfaction. She had waited for this moment for a long time. She would show those who had underestimated her that they were wrong. She would conquer the Grand Majestic, not only with money and power but also with her own talent and determination. When the elevator reached the top floor, Elena stepped out with confidence and determination. The meeting room door opened, revealing a luxurious space with a panoramic view of the city. Elena took a deep breath, ready for this important negotiation. She knew this was just the beginning of a bigger conquest, a revolution to change the Grand Majestic forever. The meeting room was bathed in natural light from the large windows overlooking the city. Elena and Mr. Davis sat facing each other, flanked by their respective teams of lawyers and financial advisors. The atmosphere was initially tense, but Elena quickly gained control with her intelligence and composure.
Mr. Davis,
Elena began, her voice calm but firm.
I know that the Grand Majestic is a valuable asset, and you have many different options, but I believe my offer is the best.
Elena presented her development strategy for the Grand Majestic, emphasizing the preservation of the hotel's heritage and class while introducing innovative ideas to attract a new generation of customers. She also made her views on diversity and inclusion clear. Mr. Davis listened attentively, occasionally asking probing questions. He was impressed with Elena's vision but remained hesitant about the price she offered. The negotiations lasted for hours with intense rounds of back-and-forth bargaining.
I understand this is a significant investment,
Elena said, sensing Mr. Davis's hesitation.
but I believe in the potential of the Grand Majestic. And to demonstrate my commitment, I'm willing to increase my offer by 10%.
Elena's generous offer was impossible for Mr. Davis to refuse. Finally, the two sides reached an agreement. Firm handshakes were exchanged, smiles of satisfaction were shared, and finally signatures were penned on the transfer contract. The Grand Majestic officially belonged to Elena Rodriguez. A feeling of happiness and pride filled Elena's heart. She had done it. She had conquered the Grand Majestic, once a symbol of discrimination and exclusion. Now, she would change it, transform it into a place that welcomed everyone, regardless of their skin color or background.
Congratulations, Elena.
Sophia said, her voice still laced with indignation.
But I still can't forget the attitude of that receptionist. It was outrageous.
Elena smiled, patting Sophia's shoulder.
I know, but we shouldn't let such trivial matters affect our mood. Today is a happy day. Let's celebrate this victory together.
Elena looked out the window, gazing at the bustling city below. She knew that the road ahead would still be full of challenges, but she was confident that she would overcome them all to transform the Grand Majestic into a new symbol, a symbol of diversity, equality, and opportunity for all. 2 weeks later, Elena returned to the Grand Majestic. This time she didn't arrive in her limousine but drove her burgundy Rolls-Royce, a silent statement of power and pride. She entered the hotel lobby, still with the same elegance and authority, but today there was a new spark in her eyes, the spark of a victor. However, as soon as she stepped inside, Elena witnessed a scene that made her blood boil. A black man, dressed smartly, was standing at the reception desk with a confused look on his face. The receptionist, a young man with an indifferent expression, was shaking his head and telling the man that the hotel was fully booked. Elena immediately recognized the discrimination hidden beneath that refusal. She stepped forward, her voice tense.
What's going on here?
The receptionist was startled when he saw Elena. He stammered.
Ma'am, This guest wants to book a room, but we are fully booked.
I don't believe it.
Elena said, her eyes fixed on the computer screen.
There are still rooms available.
The young man lowered his head, speechless. Elena turned to the black man.
Sir, would you please give me your name so I can confirm your reservation?
The man was surprised, then smiled gratefully. Elena completed the check-in process for him, then turned back to the receptionist, her voice cold.
Gather all the hotel staff in the main conference room immediately.
In the meeting room, a tense atmosphere prevailed. The hotel staff looked at each other anxiously, not understanding what was happening. Elena stepped onto the podium, her powerful aura silencing the room.
I'm Elena Rodriguez, the new owner of the Grand Majestic.
She announced, her voice resonating.
And I'm here to announce some changes.
Elena looked down at the crowd, her eyes stopping on the pale face of the young receptionist.
From today onwards, the Grand Majestic will be a place that welcomes everyone, regardless of their race, gender, or background. Any form of discrimination will not be tolerated.
She continued to talk about the changes in the hotel's policies and operating procedures, emphasizing the values of respect, equality, and diversity. The hotel staff listened in silence. They were surprised, anxious, and curious. Some felt uneasy about the upcoming changes, while others felt excited and hopeful. Elena concluded her speech with a determined statement.
I believe that the Grand Majestic can become a model for positive change. And I hope that all of you will join me in building a better future for this hotel.
The room erupted in applause. Elena smiled, feeling the weight of a great responsibility on her shoulders. But she also felt a strong belief in the power of change. She would make the Grand Majestic a truly proud place, a place where everyone felt welcomed and respected. Elena didn't stop at changing the Grand Majestic from within. She believed that a truly classy hotel wasn't just about outward glamour, but also about the humanistic values it brought to the community. Elena began by partnering with local universities, funding scholarships for underprivileged students, especially students of color from disadvantaged backgrounds. She established a fund to support educational development for children with disabilities, organized free vocational training courses for the unemployed, and sponsored environmental protection projects. Elena also actively participated in charitable activities, donating to hospitals, orphanages, and non-governmental organizations. She wanted the Grand Majestic to become a hub for community activities, a place that connected people and spread good values. One of Elena's passion projects was the Nurturing Dreams program, which aimed to support startup businesses led by people of color. Elena believed that giving opportunities to the disadvantaged would contribute to building a more equitable and developed society. The Grand Majestic gradually became a beacon in the community. Customers came not only to enjoy the luxurious services but also to experience the warm atmosphere and humanistic spirit that the hotel offered. The image of Elena, a powerful and dedicated black woman, became an inspiration to many. She had proven that success wasn't just measured by money and fame, but also by positive contributions to society. Time flew by and the Grand Majestic, under Elena's leadership, truly transformed. No longer a symbol of frivolous luxury and privileges for the few, it became an ideal model of the harmonious combination of class, humanism, and social responsibility. The hotel's reputation spread far and wide, attracting tourists from all over the world, not only for its impeccable service but also for the noble humanistic values it represented. Elena Rodriguez, from a rejected black girl to the powerful woman who brought about spectacular change, became an inspiring symbol. Her story is a testament to the power of will, resilience, and the desire to rise above, while sending a strong message about equality, diversity, and inclusion. She proved that true success comes not only from money and fame, but also from using one's influence to create positive change for the community. The Grand Majestic, nurtured by Elena's hands, is not just a luxury hotel, but also a testament to the value of compassion and sharing. It is a place where opportunities are given to everyone, regardless of their background, skin color, or social status. It is a place where dreams are nurtured, potentials are unlocked, and good values are spread. The story of Elena and the Grand Majestic is a valuable lesson about perseverance, courage, and a sense of responsibility. It reminds us that each individual has the ability to make a difference, and that actions stemming from kindness and understanding will always shine and bring lasting value to the community.